Okay, the next thing I'm going to show you how to draw is a cube. And a lot of people have trouble drawing a cube. So the cube has two parallel lines, and then the rest of the lines on the top are at an angle. So you don't draw a square like this. You would draw it at an angle. Okay. And these lines are parallel, so they're identical. So if I take my pencil and I line them up, they would be the same. Okay. And then you're going to draw lines from three corners straight down. Okay. And actually, we want to have it on the other side. So when I go to my paper to show you how to shade, I'm going to draw it a little bit differently. Okay, so we're going to have those two parallel lines. And I'm going to have my lines going this way, this way. And I'm going to make them parallel. This is probably the hardest part of this actual drawing. Okay, the three lines going straight down. And then these are parallel, the lines on the bottom. So you see all the lines going the same direction are parallel. So I'm going to draw this and then I'm going to check it. So if it doesn't line up, see it's a little bit off, I'm going to adjust it. The lines going all the same direction are parallel. Okay, so I'm going to draw this line in. Now, if I drew my cube and it looks like this, doesn't look right. It's because the lines aren't parallel. So I want to make sure all the lines going the same direction are parallel. So this one has to come up here, and this one has to go straight across. And they have to line up the corners of each other, so this line would be a little bit longer. I hope that helps you draw your cube. Okay, so again, we're going to have the light coming from this direction. So this side is going to be the lightest because it's going to get the most light. But we want to make sure that we don't shade it in a very dark value. It's going to be the lightest value. And remember, what's going to make each side look different than the next or separate from each other is that they are each a different value. Now remember, if you're blending and it's not really working, it means that you don't have enough pencil on your paper. We could even lighten this a little bit. Actually, I'm going to make the top the lightest because I do have it kind of coming from the top more. So I'm going to darken the side a little bit more. So here you don't really need to do a lot of blending. What you need to really work on is making sure you don't have a dark outline and that your values stay inside your cube. And you see here, they're starting to be the same value, so they look like one piece. So I need to make sure that now I'm going to start making this second side a different value, but I'm not going to let it go into the next area. Okay, so you see here, I'm kind of fudging it. I'm making a mistake on purpose, just to show you. So here it doesn't look like a cube that so much anymore because I'm starting to make my values uneven in that area. So what I need to do is go back and fix it. So I'm gonna lighten it and erase it a little bit. I'm gonna lighten this whole thing if I wanted to with the eraser and then just reblend it with my finger to make it look good. So light side is the top, medium, the side, and the back will be the darkest of the three sides. And again, remembering that we're not using a dark outline. But we don't want this the very darkest. We want to make sure that we save the very darkest value for underneath. Filling in a large area like this, if you wanted to, you could even try using the side of your pencil to cover a little more area more quickly. But again, you have to be very careful when you get to the edges so that you don't go over. And I want to make this an even value throughout. You start to see that here, some of the value is a little bit darker in certain areas, so I'm going to have to even that out later. So here I'm going to start evening it all out. Be careful about letting your pencil go down and get so dull that the wood is scraping on the paper. You don't want to do that, because when you have the wood scraping on the paper, then you start to have lines in your paper that won't be covered by your pencil. It makes an impression in the paper and your pencil won't fill it in. I'm going to try to get rid of some of this outline here on the top, just darkening a little bit more and evening it out just a little more. Now we want to go back in and put our shadow. And remember, this is the darkest your pencil can go. Here it looks a little off. So my line's a little off, so I actually would want to erase this here and fix it so it looks right. Now it looks more parallel. You want to make sure you also don't work on a soft surface, because otherwise your paper will start to sort of stretch when you're pressing hard, and then it's harder to get your dark values or even just shading correctly. So here is the finished cube.